Hey y'all, and welcome to Crown Television, where we all about our crowns and never about them clowns. I'm your host, Terry J, and we're gonna have another fun-packed night full of a review of one of our favorite shows to watch. I'm a little late. This is episode 8. I wanted to drop last night, but like so many other Americans, the mayhem that happened at our nation's capital yesterday had me a little bit down. As a matter of fact, I just want to encourage everybody to stay vigilant, stay prayed up, and just stay focused and keep your mind on positivity because we're going to get through this. We're already getting through this. We're winning on several different levels. Shout out to Raphael Warnock on winning senator, first black senator in Georgia. Amazing time for my people, black people right now. And I just want to encourage everybody to stay prayed up and, to keep life moving. We'll get through this. Today, we'll be doing a review from Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, episode 9. Let's get straight into it. First, we have Brooks and Meredith taking a walk through the snow. For some reason, I feel like these episodes start off with a lot of Brooks and Meredith, but it's cool. I love Meredith and I love Brooks when he's not being a brat. And then cut to Lisa Barlow and her being her normal deadbeat self and offering the kids microwave hot dogs. Cut to Jenn Shah, who plans to throw a surprise party for her husband Sharif. And she says the party's going to be shamazing. It's going to be shabam. The party's theme is a golf hip-hop party. And so Jenn starts off just starting to invite people to the party. She calls to invite Whitney and tells Whitney that she's not planning to invite Mary to the party, honey. Whitney is concerned and asks Jenn, well, don't you think that Mary might feel a little left out if you don't invite her? And then Jenn says, well, look, honey, at the fashion show where Brooks was showing his one fashion, Mary didn't say anything to me. We didn't talk to each other. So I just don't feel comfortable inviting her to Sharif parties since she didn't talk to me at the fashion show. Very petty like Jenn Shaw-like. And I tell you what, talking about not wanting to invite Mary to this and invite Mary to that, I got a real bad tingling of PTSD, and it just reminded me of back to Real Housewives of Atlanta, where Nene couldn't join in the Real Housewives and Real Reindeer Games. Then it reminded me of Potomac, where they iced Monique out because she drugged Candace's ass. So they iced Nene out, they iced Monique out. I'm like, please don't tell me that here's another franchise where the most interesting person on the show isn't going to be seen because the rest of the cast members are that threatened. Like, I will not watch if that's the case this time. Like, y'all love to ice the most lit members out and then show us all the boring people. And I'm like, not gonna be here for it this time. But anyway, if you're gonna ice somebody, ice Lisa Barlow. Matter of fact, don't ice Lisa Barlow because I'm afraid for Lil Jon, right? I need y'all to keep filming Lisa Barlow, and I need Lil Jon to know if he's in danger, all he gotta do is blink really hard 3 times and we'll come save his ass from captivity, right? Anyway, and then we cut to Mary, her scene, and she needs to remind us one more time in true Mary M. Cosby style how rich she is. And she says, we have a wonderful big house in Salt Lake City, but we have other houses too. And we have a house in Vegas, and we have a house in New York, and we have a house in Indiana. And in all of our houses, no one lives there because we just don't do that. Okay? She had to let y'all know it was really good. No one living in their house. I love Mary. Anyway, she keeps talking about her wealth. But at the same time, let me remind you how much of a person and a human Mary is. She calls her husband and she says, Jenn having a party and I'm not invited. And he starts talking about jealousy and all this and that. And Mary's just trying to keep it together, but then she starts crying. And her husband's like, well, what are you doing? And then, ergo, she's a human. She just says she doesn't understand. And she says the girls seem to be taking Jen's side because they are afraid of Jenn. Because her reactions and how she flies off, how she crazy. And at first I thought that was just an assumption, but later on we'll find out why Mary really thinks the ladies are afraid of Jenn. Anyway, cut to Heather. Heather and her wonderful single happy life and her wonderful beautiful happy girls that she's doing an amazing job at raising, right? So it's Valentine's Day and we've been hearing about this monster for 8 episodes, how he is a big name in the Mormon community, how he has took everything, took Heather's soul and took everything from her, and how she's nothing now. She's stripped from life because this one horrible Mormon man has refused to love her. Yet this man comes to the door. His name is Billy. And he looks like a regular, tall, humble white man to me. Not the monster we've been hearing about this whole season. He came to open gifts for Valentine's Day with his kids. He seems very laid back. He didn't seem to be, aggressive or judgmental. He seemed very quiet. The girls seemed comfortable around him. He didn't seem like this stiff, monster that I've been thinking in my head at all. And as he's cleaning up his spilled cupcake off the floor that Heather said, you better clean it, and he got on the floor and started scrubbing it, she then went on a rant about how horrible he was to her when they were married and how she wanted to go see the movie Scary Movie 3 and had a scene in it where it talks about a glory hole. And because Billy saw her watching this movie talking about a glory hole, he was stingy with the dick. He withheld sex from her because he didn't like that she was watching such a vulgar movie. And then she went on and on to give examples how controlling he was. She says that he walked out on their entire marriage because he would not change the date for her daughter's baptism. I do not believe that. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to minimize Heather's pain, her explanations, and what went on at all. And I know I don't know this man just from seeing him in a scene. I feel like they may have had an argument about the date for her daughter's baptism because his sister couldn't make it, but I do not think that he was just like, figure it out yourself, and just walked out on his family because of a date for his daughter's baptism. As a matter of fact, it literally sounds like he was passionate about the date for his daughter's baptism. So some of the things that Heather says, I don't mean to minimize her at all, like I keep saying, but I feel like she's embellishing just a little bit to make it look worse. She will not let the divorce thing go. She keeps it going. She keeps talking about how she's totally alone, and that's not true. She has a thriving career, employees that seem to love her, beautiful, happy girls that adore her. We even saw in one episode where she threw 5 or 6 of her employees who were having babies, all little boys at the same time, a big shindig. You are not alone. Stop saying that shit. And you are making it, and you are doing a great job. And if I was your friend, I would have been took you by your collar and shook you and said, shut the fuck up, bitch. You don't know what it's really like to be abandoned out here, because divorces happen every day, quiet as it's kept. But to end up at the end of the divorce the way you have ended up, I really want to be able to empathize with you right now, and I cannot at this juncture. Anyway, cut to Whitney, who goes to see Mary. And they keep showing Mary's tacky fucking house. It's so tacky. I love Mary M. Cosby so much, but she has this big, king, gaudy looking bed, and then a bunch of thrift store clothes around the house, and every closet and every nook and cranny that she says are all Gucci and Prada. And even Whitney in her confessional said Yeah, you may be a high-end hoarder. I love Whitney. Anyway, um, so Mary M. Cosby is dressed in all red. I love red, obvi. All red, or it may even be pink. I don't know. This reddish pink outfit. There are these red, pink, shiny pants, these red boots that are too big in the calf area, and this big, fluffy red, pink shirt. And she talks about how the boots are Gucci and the top is from Milan. And letting Whitney know, what time it is. I've always loved fashion. My grandmother loved fashion. She took me to Florida to Dillard's when they opened their first Dillard's, and we've been into fashion. And I'm just like, it's overkill. You have on all of that red, pink, break that shit up. Throw in some sparkle somewhere, put something black, white, something in there. It was just a lot. It was a lot. But that's the crazy that I love about Mary M. Cosby. She doesn't even know. She's just like, I'm rich and I have on Gucci. What's next? They talk about how Mary is a little disappointed in the girls because Jenn is not inviting her to things, and the girls seem to go along with the things that Jenn is doing because they have called her, Meredith and Lisa to be exact, have called Mary and told her that they are legit afraid of Jenn and that they love her and they don't want her to feel a type of way, but they don't say nothing to Jenn because they just scared, honey. And she says, I feel like all of you are like that and you should be saying something. And, you haven't been a really good friend. And Whitney says, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry that I've disappointed you. And I should have had your back. And I want to do what I need to do to fix it. And that's the mature thing I love about Whitney. She has her own mind. And immediately when Mary told her, hey, you're hurting me, I'm disappointed, she said, I'm sorry that I have disappointed you as a friend. And now I want to fix it. I love that moment. So cut to Meredith and her family working together, and they're having a family dinner, and Meredith is wearing her wedding ring, honey, and her and Seth are just, like I say, back in a honeymoon phase, and Brooks act like he's repulsed, but he loves the fact that his family is getting back together, and he's being supportive, though he's a little repulsed at their, little fling hot innuendos, and he lets them know that if they're gonna fuck, they're gonna have to do it in another room because their bedroom is above his, and he don't want to hear them fucking. So, then cut to Whitney again. She goes to see her friend Sarah because she still wants to get some clarity on this Jenn Mary thing that's going on, and she wants to put this baby to bed. She wants to bring this shit out because, quiet as it's kept, everybody's been going behind everybody's back all season saying little things, and storylines have not moved along because no one has confronted anyone, right? So Whitney has an idea like, okay, I'm Mary's friend. I need to figure out how to be her friend and still stand up to Jenn. I'm going to go see Sarah and see what's up and get some advice from Sarah, from Justin, from whomever, so I can address Jenn. And so she goes to see her friend Sarah, and they're laughing that she pokes a hole in Sarah's little soft mat in front of the kitchen sink. And Sarah says that the mat is for the maids to feel comfortable while they're washing dishes. That rubbed me the wrong way on so many levels. First of all, bitch, you can afford a maid but not a dishwasher? That's first of all. Second of all, who even uses the word maid anymore? Shouldn't it be housekeeper or something like that? Like that little ass house and you need a maid? I don't know, she rubbed me the wrong way with that maid and comfortable while they're washing my dishes. I don't know about all that. Anyway, they discuss the hurdles that Whitney has been through since she's been married to Justin. Let me give you a little feedback on Whitney and Justin. Whitney was Justin's secretary, and he cheated on his wife with her and then married her. and she was about 20 years younger than him. They've been married for 10 years now. And so Whitney says that for the first 7 years of their marriage, Justin's parents kept the picture up of him and his ex-wife Stacy and would not take it down. Okay, so 7 years later, they finally put the picture of Whitney and Justin beside the picture of Justin and his first wife. Didn't take it down, just put their picture beside it 7 years later. And then recently, they've added to the collection. They now have a picture of Justin's first wife with her new husband beside all that. So it's 3 pictures all side by side. And first I was shocked, and then I thought about it. They're Mormons. Maybe they're trying to force some sort of blended marriage type of shit on the low, because that's what they know and that's what they do.
Weird.
Anywho, so then she asked Sarah, what should I do about the Jenn situation? Because I don't want Mary to be left out, and Jenn don't want to invite her to anything, and I need to address Jenn about being this way. And Sarah remembers that Jenn is a totally different person when she is around Sharif, her husband. So maybe when you go to his golf/hip-hop birthday surprise party, you should drop the bomb on Jenn then and let her know that Mary says that everybody is not on board with everybody getting along because they're afraid of Jenn. And Heather and Whitney says, I think that's a wonderful idea. And so that's the plan. Cut to, they show Lisa and her kids at the museum. I love that she finally spent time with them. I think maybe she is coming to a little realization of her own. And make no mistakes about it, each character on this show is going through a journey. And we're seeming, and it's the middle of the season somewhat, and we're already seeing growth and a journey in each person. 3 episodes ago, Lisa was declining her kid's phone call, and now she's at the museum with them. So I thought that it was lovely the way the stories are coming along and showing growth in each lady. I'm noticing shit. So that was cool. Even Lil Jon looked happy for a second. Lil Jon was happy. He wasn't miserable or robotic like normal. He was happy. And then Lisa starts talking about the hair care line she came up with her kids called Fresh Wolf. And they worked with the kids on getting these hair care products out: shampoo, conditioner, face mask, whatever. And then just when I was starting to warm up, Lisa snatched it out of my heart again, and she said, in my family, if we have an idea, we don't just talk about it, we do it. So then it went from, okay, this fun family thing that you guys are doing together, fun family venture, to, oh, because my kids said they were going to do it, we did it because that's what my family does. She gets me for a second, and I'm just like, oh, and then she loses me the next second. And I'm just like, bitch. So I'm torn with Lisa Barlow. She just always seems to be condescending. Even with the little beef she had with Whitney in the beginning of the season about her providing Whitney with vodka, tequila, and the bartenders getting lit. And she was going to make a whole rumor up about Whitney being a swinger because she didn't like that Whitney didn't like her gift. Lisa. Release Little John. Anyway, so it shows Jenn getting ready for the party. The party's here. Oh shit. Jenn admits that she has starved herself to get into her outfit, and then covers it with furs and head to the party. So the party's attire is supposed to be hip-hop attire. So you're supposed to wear your hip-hop gear, your stretchies, your spandexibles, and it's also a golf type thing. because Sharif loves hip hop and golf. Whitney looked amazing in her leather. Lisa made John stay home. Lil John had to stay home with the kids, and run her bath water and wash Lisa's rubber dick. But anyway, Whitney's there. Justin's there with her. Sharif thinks he's going to get a shrimp po' boy from Popeyes, but he ends up, at his party, and he seemed happy. He seemed surprised. And Jenn says, if Sharif don't like this party and don't appreciate this party, I'm going to start seeing other people. And then production asks, is that a dig at Meredith? And Jenn says, maybe. Told you. Relentless, cruel bitch. Anyway, so the party's going on. Everybody's having fun. They have dance battles, and Sharif is, he got his dance crew. His dance crew is Whitney and Heather, and he says Whitney and Heather are his fly girls, and they're dancing, and everyone's having fun, and everyone's drinking, and it's a great party. And Whitney, like she always does, she ain't had no stripper pole this time. She didn't need one. She did a handstand, popped her ass and coochie open. Whitney do not play when it comes to dancing. Like, no one fucks with her when it comes to dancing. She got this. Lisa Barlow starts hating, talking about this is Whitney's dance routine from middle school. Girl, like, you need to find you a routine, because Lil John is so through with your dried up ass. Okay? And then Jenn makes a comment about, oh, she knows she's the best dancer because she got her brown girl robe on. Jenn and the brown girl comments. Girl, no. Anyway, so then Heather and Whitney talk again. And Whitney tells Heather, look, Meredith and Lisa are calling Mary and telling her that they are afraid of Jenn, and that's why we're not all doing things together, and that's why Mary can't come, because they're afraid to tell Jenn that she should lighten up. And Heather says, girl, I don't know why none of y'all scared. Don't be scared of her. Go over there and tell her that that's why, Mary thinks that they're afraid, because they're calling her one-on-one. Even though you think they're your friends, they're calling Mary and just saying, girl, we her friend in a way, but really we not. We're just scared. So go tell her that shit. So Whitney downs the rest of her wine, hands her husband a glass, and says, fuck it, I'm going in. Because now it's time to move the storylines along. See what I'm saying? So what better catalyst to do that than little old cute Whitney? So she goes over there. And she tells Jenn, I talked to Mary, and Mary thinks that the other women are afraid of you because they have called her one-on-one, even though they're your friends, and said, we want you around, but we're afraid to say so. To this Tasmanian devil, this crazy witch of a lady who has clearly bumped her head, who needs medication and therapy, at her husband's surprise birthday party. And what does Jenn do?
How dare they say they're afraid of me? Why would anyone be afraid of me?
As she proceeds to rip the balloons and all the decorations off the walls and throw them, and throw glasses of drinks.
How could anyone say they're afraid of me? Who would be afraid of me?
See how stupid this shit look? But that's what happened.
Sharif, these bitches say they're afraid of me. Why?
Sharif is so sick of this bitch. He just like, not again. You always do this. You always get drunk and act crazy. And she's in the car, in the truck, and even her own son, Mama, calm down. Calm down, Mama. Don't worry about this shit. Calm down.
How could they say they're afraid of me? Why would anyone be afraid?
Now, I know they said this lady was on medication, and I'm not knocking anyone who's on medication for mental illness. But when you mix alcohol, and then you yourself have admitted you have starved yourself all day long to fit into your outfit, so you have no food in your system to soak up the pills that you take for your mental illness or the alcohol, then this is the result you get. Okay? It's not hard to figure out. And really, Jenn was never mad that somebody said they was scared of her. Why she was mad was because these ladies actually thought enough of Mary to call Mary and say, hey, I fucks with you. I have loyalty with you too. I want to be around you too. However, this other person makes me fear for my life. She does not like that these other ladies have any loyalty to Mary. She thinks all the loyalty is supposed to be to her. She's a child. She's a brat. She does not know how to take things when they do not go her way. All right? She's mad that people have loyalty to the real brown girl on the show. All right? So cut to, they show scenes from the next episode. And they show Sharif telling Jenn, like, hey, you keep getting drunk and doing stupid shit. You fucked my birthday party up. I'm sick of you. So guess who she blames for all of that? Whitney. Ergo, if you blame Whitney, that means you really blame Mary because the information came from Mary. And again, not enough Mary in this episode for me. Just her crying because she can't come to the party. This is the third episode in a row with too little Mary M. Cosby for me. I love the show, but I'm going to need me some more. You can't keep basing the majority of the cast and having them to ice someone out. Oh, because I don't like her. And she may be a little bit too charismatic for me. She might carry this show. I'm going to pretend to have a problem with her and get everyone on board with her so that no one will film with her, so that she will be fired. That can't keep happening because the people y'all keep doing that to are the most entertaining ones. And we're left with all the Lisa Barlows. And we don't want them.
It's a money thing.
So that was my review of episode 9 of The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. This is Crown Television, where we're all about our crowns and never about them clowns. Please subscribe, like, comment, tell me your favorite TV show. I'll review that as well. But I'm staying on Real Housewives of Salt Lake City because I want to see what crazy ass Jen Shaw is about to do next, and if they're gonna bring my girl Mary M. Cosby back into the spotlight. I need to know, does Whitney, Father Steve leave or stay his ass there where he need to be? Stay tuned. I'm Terry J. I'm your host. Peace out till next time.